What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want right now, it's not your age, not your timing, not your circumstances, but overthinking? Hi, friend. I'm Ileana. I am here to empower you to reset and renew your mindset and step into this next chapter of your life with clarity, confidence, and self respect. And today, I want to talk to you about something I see holding so many of us back from the life we know we are meant to live. We're going to talk about why overthinking the how is keeping us stuck and what to do instead so you can finally start moving toward the life that is calling you. I want to start by saying that this matters so much for us in midlife because this is the time when we start to feel that pull for something more. Maybe you spent decades showing up for everyone else, your family, your work, your community, and somewhere along the way, your own dreams got moved to the back of the line. Not because you gave up on them, but because life kept moving and you kept telling yourself, I'll do it later when things settle, when the kids are grown, when I feel more ready. And now you're here in this season, and that pull is stronger than ever. This is why this message matters so much for us because midlife is an invitation to finally turn towards ourselves with the same dedication that we've given everyone else. And the biggest thing standing in the way of answering that invitation is not our age, not our past, and not our circumstances. It's overthinking. And today we are going to talk about exactly how to move through it. Here's what I want you to understand first. Overthinking is not who you are. It's not a personality trait, and it is not a sign that something is wrong with you. Overthinking is what happens when we don't fully trust ourselves, when we try to figure everything out first before we move, before we begin, before we give ourselves permission to want what we want. But here's what I've learned. Our brain is naturally wired for survival, not expansion. Anytime you step into something new, a new goal, a new routine, a new chapter of your life, your brain doesn't cheer you on first. It scans for danger. Neuroscientists calls this negativity bias. Your mind is naturally drawn to what could go wrong before it looks for what could go right. It's not a flaw. This is how it was designed to keep us safe. But that same survival instinct that once protected our ancestors from real physical danger is the same instinct that today whispers, don't try. It probably won't work. You should figure it all out before you begin. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real threat and a new dream. So it treats both the same way, with caution, with hesitation, and 100 reasons to wait. And here's something that makes this even harder. When you are anxious and overwhelmed, your prefrontal cortex, the logical, forward thinking part of your brain, actually becomes less active. Your brain goes into threat detection mode, tunnel vision, which means that clarity you are waiting for, it literally cannot reach you in that state. And that is what keeps you stuck and unwilling to take action on what you had planned on doing. Every time you tell yourself you'll start when you feel more ready, every time you say, I need to figure this out first, and then do nothing, you lose a little trust in yourself. Not dramatically, not all at once, but quietly over time. Every promise you make to yourself and don't keep it because of overthinking becomes a brick in a wall between you and the woman that you know you are capable of being. And in midlife, this hits differently because we are old enough to look back and see the patterns. We can count the times we almost started, the dreams we circled and never landed on, the versions of ourselves we glimpsed but never finally stepped into. And instead of that awareness lighting a fire in us, it sometimes becomes just another reason to doubt. If I didn't do it then, what makes me think that I can do it now? But here's what research tells us, and I want you to really hear this. Think back to a time when you said you were going to do something and you actually did it. Maybe it was small, maybe nobody else even noticed, but you noticed. And in that moment, you felt that sense of accomplishment. That feeling is not just emotional, it's neurological. Every single time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, no matter how small, your brain literally builds new pathways for self trust. It registers, I am someone who does what she says she will do. And the reverse is also true. Every time we tell ourselves we'll start and don't, every time overthinking wins, our brain quietly learns that story. But here's the beautiful part, and this is what gives me so much hope for us in this season. Your brain does not distinguish between big wins and small ones. A 10-minute walk kept, a journal entry written, a phone call made, one healthy meal chosen. To your brain, every kept promise counts equally. Every follow through strengthens the foundation, which means you do not need a dramatic life overhaul to start feeling like yourself again. You do not need to be ready for the whole mountain. You just need to take one step and then another and let your brain do what it was designed to do, to build on every small proof that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that this dream that you are carrying is absolutely within your reach. The path back to trusting yourself is not one giant leap. It is one small kept promise at a time. And that is something you can start today. In midlife, we're not starting from zero. We're starting from experience, from wisdom, from a lifetime of knowing what matters and what doesn't. We don't need to figure everything out. We just need to take the next right step and then another after that. Because comfort without growth is not peace, it is surrender to a life that was meant for more. We are not designed for stagnation. We are designed for expansion, for progress. Every small step you take is an act of choosing expansion over fear. I want to share this with you because I've lived this. There were years in my life when I didn't go after my dreams, not because I didn't want them, but because I kept waiting to feel more ready, more certain, more prepared. I kept waiting for clarity that never came from waiting. And I've heard this from so many women in midlife. The I'll start when, the I'll need to figure out this first. The endless loop of thinking somehow, if you just analyze it long enough, the path will become clear. But what I have discovered and what the research backs up is that clarity is not something you think your way into. It's something you move your way into. Every step you take begins to rewire your brain. Every action builds the confidence, the momentum, the self trust that overthinking never could. You don't get clear and then move. You move and then you get clear. The path doesn't come first, the movement does. Then the path reveals itself one step at a time. And let me also say that so much of our overthinking isn't really about the plan. It's about us bringing up old stories, old failures, old versions of ourselves, and we use them as evidence for why this time probably won't be different either. You are not the same woman that you were 5 years ago, not even the same woman that you were 6 months ago. Every experience, every challenge, everything you've moved through has shaped a new version of you. And to hold yourself to the limits of an older version of yourself is to rob the woman that you are now of the life that she's ready for. So, this is one of the greatest gifts of midlife that we rarely acknowledge. We have the context, we have lived enough to know what we truly want. And that knowing is not a small thing, it's a superpower. Now, let's talk about what to do in the moment because knowing why you overthink is one thing, but having the tools ready when it hits, that is where everything changes. So, the first thing is to recognize what's happening. Your nervous system is activated, and a regulated nervous system is not something you think your way into, it's something you return to. So step away from the spiral, move your body, do something that fills your cup and brings you back to yourself. Breathe. Here's one breathing technique that I use myself, and you can do it too right now, anywhere, wherever you are. It's called box breathing, and it takes less than 2 minutes. So for this, you breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out of your mouth for 4 counts, and then hold for 4 counts. It's simple. Repeat that 3 times. That slow exhale activates the part of your nervous system responsible for calm and clarity. It literally signals your body that you are safe. And when your body feels safe, your mind can finally think clearly again. Bottom line, when you regulate first, you can respond from your best self, not react from your fear. I'll also include links to my favorite meditations. The second thing is to interrupt the thought. Say to yourself, thinking is not moving me forward. That simple pattern interrupt signals your brain to shift out of rumination and into action, that one small action at a time. Third, make one small promise and keep it, not 10 things, not the perfect plan, one thing. Something so small it would be so hard to talk yourself out of. And then do it. And notice how you feel afterwards. That feeling is self trust being rebuilt, one brick at a time. Fourth, stay in motion. Through small, consistent actions, you can build a life that is a true reflection of your values and dreams, not through one big breakthrough, through the daily practice of showing up for yourself, for your health, for the woman that you are becoming. And then from that grounded place, ask yourself just one question. What is one step I can take today? Let me end with this. Overthinking will keep you comfortable, but it will also keep you stuck from making progress and possibly with a dissatisfied feeling. Because as Tony Robbins has mentioned, progress equals happiness or joy comes from personal growth, moving forward and improving. And it's this that creates that sense of aliveness and fulfillment. And this season was never meant to be lived in hesitation and dissatisfaction. It was meant for us to live in expansion, in growth, in the quiet, powerful practice of showing up for ourselves every single day. You don't need the full plan. You don't need to know every how. You don't need to feel completely ready. You just need the courage to begin and then commitment to keep going. Because the woman that you are becoming is not created through overthinking. She's created in the moment when you decide to move forward anyways. And friend, I truly hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. As I've told you before, I write and record these messages for us because I'm right here with you, doing the inner work and intentionally creating this next chapter alongside you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for continuing this journey with me. If this message spoke to you, share it with the woman in your life who is ready to stop overthinking and start moving. Please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. And let this be a reminder that your time is not up. Click on the links below to download 2 powerful tools to help you embrace your second act because you deserve every tool available for you for this next chapter. Remember, friend, you are not too old, it is not too late, and you are not behind. You are right on time for the woman that you are becoming. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Bye.